Today, I'm showing you how I cut and fold paper to make signatures using only a box cutter and a bone folder. One note, I usually don't trim the signatures 4H, which is the front side of the signatures where we open the book. It doesn't bother me if the 4H isn't perfectly flat or flush. Naturally, untrimmed edges will create a slight zigzag pattern. But I still want all the signatures to be consistent in size and the 4H to look as symmetrical as possible. They will vary slightly because they're handmade after all, but they still look neat. What I use are a box cutter and a bone folder, simple and efficient. Before we begin, make sure the box cutter is sharp and extended long enough so you can press it flat against the surface. For this demo, I will use scrap paper to make signatures. I'm making a tiny A7 book. To get that size, I will cut this letter-size paper twice and fold it 3 times. Okay, let's begin with the first fold. I grab a stack of 5 sheets. That's the thickness I like for one signature. I loosely align the corners by tapping the paper on the mat. Place the stack on the mat. Align the corners from top to bottom. Hold both corners, then grab the bone folder. Place the folder at the center of the fold and press from the 4H toward the fold. This helps keep the corners aligned. Then press firmly along the fold to make it as flat as possible. Alright, now the second fold. While holding the folded paper, grab the box cutter and extend the blade. Place the blade inside the fold. Move your hand close to the fold. Press the cutter flat against the paper and carefully glide it along the fold to cut it all the way through. Now, fold each paper set in half again and cut along the fold one more time. This is the final cut. And comes the last fold. Fold each set of paper one last time. At this point, each paper set becomes a signature. They're now ready for hole punching and stitching. Here is the final result after the folding and cutting. You can see there are still slight variations, but each signature has a fairly symmetrical peak at the 4H. And that is how I cut and fold paper to make signatures using only a box cutter and a bone folder. You can easily adapt this method to your desired paper size. If you want to learn the entire bookmaking process, check out the resources in the description.